Hey everyone, welcome to the Combat Cast podcast. I think that's what we're calling this damn thing. Anyways, I'm Jesse. This is Tyler. We're bracketing our decks today. First, join the Discord, link in the description. Check us out on YouTube. There'll be a video version of this podcast. If you're on Spotify or iTunes, make sure you finish the podcast first and then go watch the video on YouTube. Go to Combat MTG, link tree in the description. Of course, you know we have that. I'm on like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, freaking Blue Sky now.
Right. I don't exist online.
He doesn't exist online. He doesn't exist. He's not a person. I manage all the social medias. I do all the editing. So, and on YouTube, you have all the fancy cards popping up on the screen. And then we also have these like cool things we can do. We can like give us an applause. I think that was a good intro. Applause, you know? Anyways, we're bracketing our decks. So Tyler's doing light pulse. This is my deck. He's talking about my deck. We're talking about my deck. Light Pulse, I'm going to give you guys the breakdown of what Light Pulse wants to do. So if we know what Light Pulse is, you know, whenever you cast an aura on it, you search for another aura with lesser mana value. This is a Light Pulse deck, but it's not really because I changed the commander to Pearlier and we haven't updated it yet. So that's how that is.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. You just draw cards with Pearlier and affinity for auras with Pearlier. I'll put it up on screen. So that's why you should go watch the video. But what do you think about this deck, Tyler?
I much prefer the Pearliers in contrast to the Light Pulse. Going against her, that was an awful experience.
We do a lot of 1v1, so going against the Light Pulse is like just awful. Like
you could just search for every single answer.
Yeah, especially
it made it really difficult to play any deck against it because it had protection from every color, being that it is in white. So you could just search, have full protection, swing through to hit me for max commander damage pretty much around like turn 3 or 4 every single time. It's a fast deck. It's a good deck. Just not fun to play against.
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like in a 4-player pod, I feel like in the bracket system, since, you know, this is the new topic, we wanted to get this video out before like the new April revealing that Gavin's doing where he's revealing what's happening in April. Anyways, Light Pulse / Pearlier, I'm putting this probably like a 4, a bracket 4. I feel like it does good stuff. It's got a couple game changers, but it does go super fast. Even with Pearliers in the command zone, it's just mono white, get big and swing. I don't know where you sit this deck at, but I'm going with a strong 4 for this.
It's definitely strong. I'd give it a 5 if you're going in our type of format where you're going
1v1. Yeah,
no,
in 1v1, it's not
a full pod. It would certainly not be at that 5 rank.
It's definitely not CDH though.
No.
In
like
our
if
style, if we're just talking like
CDH,
like if we're just talking like a regular old commander, where do you put this at?
I'm still going with 5 against me.
Why? No, it could never be CDH. CDH is 5. This guy hasn't even looked at the bracket system.
Top tier 4.
Top tier 4. Dude, this thing has nothing. It's just cast big artifact or enchantment to win game.
Yeah, just your amount of answers, you can take over anything. So.
Oh yeah, but I think it's a good in a 4 pod for sure.
And it only costs 2 to get her out. So.
Well, Light Pulse.
Way too fast.
Light Pulse it does, but
yeah.
There were people that were.
If you're going Pearl is nowhere near that.
Yeah, Pearliers is like a 4.
That one's entertaining to play against. It's a lot more.
Yeah, I'm not shuffling 15,000 times. Like
2 minutes a turn.
Yeah,
like type of thing. It's quicker, and
I think
there's more variety.
You're not just sitting there like this the whole game, just crickets. Like you're not just sitting there the whole game watching me play, shuffling and searching. So I think I'm putting both of them at like a 4. Both Light Pulse and the Pearliers, I think they're both pretty good. It's just a white shield.
Lower 4. Light Pulse, high 4.
You think that's how it goes?
100%.
Yeah, I think Light Pulse is definitely better than Pearlier, but I think Pearliers is more fun because you just draw into the stuff instead of having to go search for it, and then it also gives you the mana ramp on top of it. So that's why I think, and like you can just cheat in an Eldrazi conscription with Pearlier, so much more easier than you can with Light Pulse, which I like a lot more.
Yeah.
So now we're moving on to one of Tyler's decks. This is Bruvek, the Grand Delinquent. So this is a mill deck.
Oh,
I don't know if you want to talk about the goal of the deck. Just kind of like a breakdown of what you want to do with this deck.
It's a very simple deck. It's one of my favorite strategies. It is the mill strategy. And
Well,
he
yeah.
is the mill man. He doubles all the milling.
He is the mill man,
And
he
he's
does
got
mill.
plenty of advisors in here. He's got 16, I think.
I think
that
there's
I have.
25.
I have 25 persistent
I think there's
petitioners in here.
25 persistent petitioners in
I
here.
got quite a few,
Well, you have,
and that's perfectly fine.
You have 7, 8, 9. You have 9 creatures that aren't, or no, you have 8 creatures that aren't persistent petitioners, and you
Yeah,
have
those
31
are
creatures.
Yeah,
So you have 23 persistent petitioners in here,
plenty.
and
plenty.
then a drumming
and
stone.
then they're making everything mill for, 12,
12, and then
per tick, and then he's
Bruvac.
on there, so you're hitting that 24.
Yeah,
And if I got a thrumming stone out, then things
Yeah,
are going to
game's
go
over. Yeah, because you can tap those without having haste,
Nope.
right?
Yeah, that's
You-
just tap.
You can just tap 4.
four
Yeah,
of 'em.
yeah, because something else can tap them. Yeah,
Yeah,
and you can even tap Bruvac because he is an advisor. You
Yeah.
can tap him and mill.
it works perfectly for it.
Yeah, if you haven't ever read Bruvac, whenever a player would mill or an opponent would mill, they mill twice that much.
Right.
Just and it's 2 and a blue. Bruvac, the Grand Delinquent. He's a human advisor, legendary creature. If you're curious, because we didn't read that, which we need to start reading cards because that's the thing we need to do. But
I'm terrible at reading.
This
though.
guy, like, has a couple game changers in here, so you'd have to put it in the 3. But I really just don't think it plays like a 3. Personally, it never does anything good.
I haven't hit my thrumming
You've
stone.
never-
You always destroy it.
Yeah, I always destroyed the thrumming
Which is-
stone,
it's
which
fair.
is very fair. If you get the thrumming stone, you pretty much win, right? But
Mm.
like in 1v1, it's just like it is really good. It is probably a 3 in 1v1, and like in a full pod, mill strategies aren't really great
Yeah.
unless you're like turn 1ing Bruvac, turn 2 like.
Well,
Like
the whole dynamic of it changes when you're in a pod. So
Because
you're
now you
not
got to
really
mill
wanting,
300 cards versus 100.
Not necessarily.
Well, no,
I
that's-
would
that's
I
truth.
would look at it in a way of I'm not trying to mill someone else. I'm trying to mill myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like just trying to kill yourself then.
Well, no, you just lab maniac and you good.
Yeah, I don't know if you even have Lab Maniac in here. Oh, you do.
I know.
Oh, so you're not even trying to mill. Like if you're in a 4-player pod, you don't care about your opponents. Then you're
No.
just trying to mill yourself.
I changed my whole strategy.
That makes sense. You don't mill double to yourself though, which kind of blows.
Yeah, it's
But-
fine.
But that's
I
fine.
can make it happen.
You can make it happen.
Yeah, I got plenty of cards in here that mill half libraries, so
Yeah.
I just mill my whole library. It'd be all right because I have Leveler in here as well, so that removes my library from the game, and then I'll be good. I'll be good.
Yeah, you're good, chilling. Yeah, give you a round of applause for that one. Definitely good good deck. I like this deck. You don't really play it that often though.
I feel like a lot of people don't like mill, so I tend not to use this one. And mono blue. I mean, those are just the 2 things that people can't handle.
Yeah, mono blue is like people don't like mono blue, man. And
I don't have a whole lot of counter spells in that deck. It's more
there's
mill centric.
It's mill centric, yeah. And the 2 game changers you do have are Cyclonic Rift and Rhystic Study,
Yeah.
which are probably like 2 of the best ones in blue, anyways.
Yeah.
I think like Fierce Guardianship is not in there, so I think Cyclonic Rift and Rhystic Study are the 2 best ones.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, maybe not. And Casual probably. I don't know. We're not really talking about CDH because we're not CDH players, but
Yeah.
all right. Anyways, what are we talking about next? We're talking about Duretti. This is my deck.
Yeah.
We're doing 10 decks of mine, 10 decks of his. We're bracketing them. Just trying to give you guys like an idea of like how to bracket your decks. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll help somebody out, or maybe you guys just like listening to us. Anyways, Duretti. I built this primarily just to mess with Tyler and mind slaver him over and over again. But the main goal is to cast a Metal Worker and a Staff of Domination and go infinite and get infinite mana and win. I put this at a bracket 4, honestly, just because it's got a lot of 2-card combos that are just kind of like mono red artifact shenanigans. I do have it as bracket 3 on Moxfield because I don't think it has very many game changers. Like it has Jessica's Will, and that's it.
I'd put this at a 3.
You think?
Yeah, I think that Duretti himself is easy to deal with, and if you don't have the defense to actually keep him before you get that emblem, then it shuts the whole thing down. So
Yeah.
if you don't get off to a quick start, then you're going to be completely shut down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. And then there is like the backup of Metal Worker and, like I said, Staff of Domination.
Yeah.
And then there is the like Shimmer Mirror, or not Shimmer Mirror, Mirror Retriever, Scrap Crawler, like weird junk diver loops you can do, where you just kind of loop your whole thing and eventually you end with something. There is like wisdom. I don't know. There's a bunch of cool ways to just go off in this deck. I can't see putting it at a 3. I really don't see putting it. I just feel like it plays like a 4. It is good. I've played it in 4s and it's done good. Like turn 1, pretty good turn 1 plays. Like, because I got a lot of artifacts, I can just kind of storm off.
So if you're going into a group that doesn't know what this deck has, they wouldn't expect what you're about to do. So
but Duretti is a pretty popular commander, though, so people do expect what Duretti does.
Yeah, they should deal with them then.
Yeah, they definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's free. It's free to just swing at him. Yeah, but it's like I've played 4-player pods on Spell Table where I'm literally just like turn 1 Mountain, Soul Ring, Lotus Petal, turn 1 Metalworker, turn 2 like Staff Domination, tap Metalworker, make 6 mana.
Those are kind of like that's a god hand.
Well, yeah, that's a god hand. Yeah, I mean, but then there's
you get something like that, you're like, well, I'm gonna probably. Do then
there's those games where I draw like Mountain, Soul Ring, Lotus Petal, Seething Song, and I'm just like, all right, 5 mana, turn 1 to ready. Have a blocker up like an Ornithopter or just like any 1 mana thing, which there isn't any 1 mana things in here. I literally have Ornithopter and Memnite as my 0 drops, and then I have a Goblin Welder, but I'm never blocking with him because I don't want to. But yeah, and it's a good deck. I think it's a 4.
I think it's enjoyable to play against and play with, but like I said, you take care of the ready, shuts it down.
Game over.
I'm still giving it a 3. Especially in like our type where it's just me, you.
Yeah.
I know what to do with it. So
yeah, you just
as long as I have anything, and it can just be a 1/1. I just swing it at you, and it's going to slow you down enough to where I'm going to have stuff to deal with it later.
Yeah. I mean, this deck did get some good upgrades from Aether Drift. It got the Radiant Lotus. It got the new Duretti.
Yeah.
Which it's pretty good upgrades all in all. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I agree that it's a 4. Well, I disagree. I think it's a 4. You think it's a 3. We'll put it at 3.5. Is that a thing? Nah, we're putting it at a 4. I don't care.
I'll take your word for it.
I think it's 4. I've played the deck more than you have.
I've played against it.
It's worth it. You think it's a 3? I think it's a 4. Yep.
You got to trust the bracket system here.
You got to trust the bracket. Our bracket system. All right. So now we're on Keurig, Son of Yawgmoth. This is the 4 mana, 3 Phyrexian black mana lifelink. For each black mana symbol and the mana cost, you may pay 2 life instead of the mana. And then whenever you cast a black spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Kirk, Son of Yawgmoth. He's legendary creature, horror minion. Mm-hmm. This is probably one of your closest decks to CDH.
Yeah, I built it to be pretty close, but not quite.
It's got a lot of tutors.
Almost there.
It's got a lot of tutors. For reference, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game changers in here, and they include Imperial Seal, Demonic Tutor, Opposition Agent, the One Ring, Bolsa Citadel, and Vampiric Tutor. So all the good ones. And we have a Peer into the Abyss in here. No Adnos, surprisingly. I
told you I wanted it to be close.
You wanted it to be close. No Adnos. He does have like weird ram spells in here. He has Helm of Awakening, Jet Medallion. He has some Swiftfoot Boots in here, which is kind of weird to put in here. To be fair,
it's there for a reason.
You think it's there for a reason?
Yeah.
I would just cut all. I would just cut Demon's Horn, Helm of Awakening, Jet Medallion, Swiftfoot Boots, Thran Dynamo, and Throne of Eldraine, and just put in like Mana Vault, all the black stuff.
If I did that, it'd be competitive.
And you should make a CDH, dude. This deck would be so good. This is like the best mono black deck in CDH right now.
I can believe it. This is a really fun deck to play.
I don't really know what it does, to be honest. I know it plays. It literally plays all the cards in here besides like the stupid ones. Like there's 15 cards in here that the deck doesn't play. I think they still play Bolsa Citadel. I'm not really sure though, because the Bolsa Citadel covers your like generic cost. So you can pay life for it. So maybe, I don't really know. I guess I've never looked at a Croak list, but I'm pretty sure they play all the tutors. They play You even play Beseech the Mirror?
It is in here.
Yeah. Beseech the Mirror, which isn't a game changer, but it is a tutor, which is one of the better ones because you get like a copy if you bargain it or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
Well, instead of it coming to your hand, it goes out onto the field when you.
Oh yeah, if it's 4 or less.
Yeah. And it's 3 blips of swamp, so I'm able to pretty much I just cast the one generic, pay 6 life, and I'm gonna get it back anyway, so I don't really care.
Yeah, you just swing Quirk and win. Is it now? Here's the debate: is it Kirk or Kirk? Is it Kirik or Kirk?
I like to call him Crick.
Is it Crick?
Yeah.
I've heard Kirik. I've heard Crick.
I'm going Crick.
I'm just gonna start calling him Post Malone.
Don't do that.
Because no, there's a Post Malone card.
I know there is. Don't do that though.
Why?
It's fine.
You don't like Posty?
No, Post is fine. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know.
I love Posty, man.
Yeah, but
shout out Post Malone.
He's out there.
He's out there. He's listening. Shout out Post Malone.
He's definitely listening.
Yeah, he's out there. All right, Kirk's on a Logmoth. We're both giving this a 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah, it's definitely a 4. All right, we're talking about my deck now. You know, this iPad is very useful. You know, you can just click on whatever you want, boom, and then you just go Selvala. So I've recently updated Selvala, and I've made it almost CDH.
What'd you add?
I added a bunch of stuff. So I added Titania's Song, which makes all artifacts, all non-creature artifacts into creatures equal to their mana value. So it shuts off treasures, which is a big thing in CDH. Well, it used to be with Dockside and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good anymore, but I did put that in. I put a Relic Golem in here to untap because I have a lot of untap synergy. So you can just untap and, mill everybody for a lot. But anyway, Selvala Heart of the Wilds, whenever another creature enters, you draw a card if its power is greater than all other creatures' powers, and then you can tap a green and tap it and add X mana of any combination of colors equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. And it's a 2 green, 1 generic, Selvala Heart of the Wilds is his name, legendary creature, elf, scout. I thought it was an elf human. I don't know. That was weird. I don't know why I think it would be an elf human. This is probably the closest deck to CDH. I am trying to make a CDH, so I would put it in at 5 right now. It's almost CDH. It's not quite there. There's a couple pieces I'm missing. I'm missing the Guy's Cradle. I'm missing the Phyrexia Dreadnought, which is a 1 mana 12/12. I'm missing a couple other cards. Phyrexian Soul Gorger, which is a 3 mana 8/8. I'm missing that. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty close to CDH. I do run a couple weird kind of cards in there, just kind of like some fringe weird stuff. But I do think this deck's a 5, and I'll give that a round of applause because I actually love this deck. And I probably won't ever play against Tyler anymore unless he builds a CDH deck. This is strictly a CDH deck now.
I feel like you're really pushing me into getting the old Crick into CDH, so maybe I will.
Maybe you will. You can just play against this, and Kirk is much better than this.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it probably could be. I just had to switch the stuff in there, a lot of the stuff to make it deal
You
with
need
this.
to take like 15 to 25 cards out and just, revamp it.
I'd have to switch half the deck.
Yeah.
So this is definitely, I would say a 5 before you switched cards, but yeah, after swapping out a few of these, I can see, it's
a 5 now.
That's a hard 5.
It's a hard 5. Yeah, whenever you look at the land count and there's 27, you're just like, oh, this is CDH, or the deck builder's bad. And I mean, I would consider myself a pretty bad deck builder, but I don't think I'm bad for building this.
Nah, I wouldn't call you bad. It's just you like to build some niche stuff, some fun things, but synergistic things.
Yeah. There's one game changer in here, I think. What's the game changer? The One Ring. I'm running the One Ring. I put a bunch of game changers in here. Chrome Mox, Mana Vault, and the One Ring, which a lot of people for Selvala don't run.
You did it.
A lot of people don't.
I see you hit all those at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't run the Mana Vault or the One Ring because
looks like
Selvala is a slow storm deck. They want to run Artifact Hate.
You added a Walking Ballista. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I added Walking Ballista for the WinCon. I did add Chrome Mox and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're putting this at a 5. I added a Nixthos, Gemstone Cavern. Yeah. We're putting it at a 5. That's just strictly a 5. I can't put it at anything lower because if I put it in a 4 deck, it is fringe CDH, but at the same time, I don't really care. I could probably take it to a CDH table and do fine.
Yeah, I think you do pretty decent.
Yep. All right.
This is another one that probably could be.
Could be a 5? No, I don't think so. This is Krinko Mob Boss. If you don't know what this does, you've probably been living under a rock your entire life. Or have never played Magic and are just listening to this podcast out of the blue because you saw my face on here.
0% chance that
anyways,
no one knows this.
Krinko Mob Boss, 2 generic, 2 red. Tap, create X, 1/1 red goblin creatures, where X is the number of goblins you control. I like Krinko. Very popular mono red deck. I'm pretty sure like everybody and their mom has built this deck. No, like literally everybody and their mom. Like
it's the first one that I put together.
Yeah, this is the first one you tell your mom to build.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're like, hey, mom, you want to start playing Magic and you want to build a Krinko Mob Boss deck? Yeah, this is literally what you start with.
I built it out of a bargain bin.
Literally went to this game shop near us, the bargain bin. Was that what it was called? I don't know. We're just doxing ourselves. Anyways, he built us out of a bulk bin at a game shop, and somewhere here around us.
It worked.
And it worked. It still works. He has a Nyx Lotus in here for some reason.
I took it out.
Oh no, he took it out for House Squad Heavy. Just hearing in that we took the Nyx Lotus out for a House Squad Heavy. Round of applause for Tyler because he took that out.
I mean, it's been 4 years since I made any modifications, so I'm happy about that one.
Yeah, you're really happy about that one from Aether Drift.
Yeah.
So where are you putting this at? I'm putting this at maybe a 3, maybe a low 4, maybe a 4, maybe it's a 4.
It's a 4.
You think it's a 4?
Yeah, even as unoptimized as it is, it's a 4.
You think it's just straight up a 4?
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. You don't think it's a 3?
No, unless I don't draw any lands, which happens way too often.
Well, you have 39 in here.
Yep.
It's a very high amount.
Should be able to draw it.
Yeah, maybe you need more impulse draw in here. Maybe you need more like discard and draw 2 or more stuff that exiles the top card unless you play it.
Quite a few like that, I thought.
Yeah, maybe you just need more card draw. Maybe you need to take out some lands and put in some card draw.
It's not worth it.
I think it's worth it.
The lands are there because I don't draw lands.
Well, maybe you just need to shuffle better.
Yeah, I heard there's like mana weaving.
Yeah, just mana weave and cheat.
Disgusting people.
No, come on. No, that is disgusting. Yeah.
No,
all right.
4.
Put it in at 4. Moving on to my deck.
Yeah, we'll see what you got.
We're moving on to Brago. The Brago seems pretty good.
It's a decent deck.
I don't know. Brago.
But not if somebody has flyers.
Brago. There we go. All right, Brago.
If you don't have any flyers, I'll tell you what.
You suck.
Yeah, you're gonna get
bonked. You're gonna get infinite turn comboed on and lose.
Yeah.
So Brago King Eternal, you can read this one.
Oh, I'm terrible at reading.
Okay, just kidding. He doesn't know how to read. He's never read before.
I'm illiterate. You got this.
All right. 2 generic, an Azorius, which is a white and a blue. Legendary creature, Spirit Noble. Funny, right? It's a flying. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, exile any number of non-land permanents you control and return them to the battlefield under your control or under their owner's control, whatever he says. So this is a blink deck. I'm pretty sure everybody's built a Brago deck, another very popular commander. I don't pride myself in building top 100 decks.
You sure?
Yeah. I just coughed and that'll get cut out. Nobody will ever know that happened.
Good.
Anyways, I'm dying over here. But yeah, Brago, King Eternal. He blinks stuff. There's a lot of things that ETB and
blink.
No. We're not even finishing each other's sandwiches. ETB and draw. What are you talking about?
Well, the ETD, blink and draw.
Yeah, no, the ETB and draw.
And then blink.
No, blinking happens first.
Unless you're a Feldar Guardian.
Well, I guess that happens too.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess you were right.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got you.
But the whole premise of this deck is literally to do the infinite turns. So literally play Brago, you play Archaeomancer, you play an extra turn spell, you swing with Brago, get the extra turn spell on your extra turn, cast the extra turn spell, swing with Brago, get the extra turn spell. Very boring play style, to be honest. Still love the deck. Still love playing Brago. It's just very boring. I have fun playing it. Don't get me wrong. The playstyle is boring. I don't ever usually go for that combo in a 4-player pod unless I absolutely have to win. Like, it's to the point where we've been sitting there for 2 hours and I'm like, I'm just going to go for the win at this point. Screw you guys. I'm going home. But I really just like it. It's there's a mill strategy in here. I have Alter the Brood.
Yeah.
It's mill strategy. You should love this. Anyways, putting it at a 3.
Infinite turn, nobody can love. There's nothing else to say about it. Nobody wants an infinite turn win.
Nobody?
I mean, I deal with it.
You deal with it every day.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
3.
You're putting it at 3? Yeah, I think it plays like a
fair.
3. It's probably a 3. It's got some game changers. It does have the infinite turns. I think in 3 you can't have infinitely looping turns. But like this deck just sucks.
I don't know. I haven't seen it like go
Ham.
crazy. Maybe once.
Out
of all the time.
It does have Deadeye Navigator and Great Whale,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
like a
I mean,
2-card
It
combo.
has abilities to do it. It just
Doesn't do it.
I don't. It's similar to how my Krinko. It just doesn't happen. Just for some reason, it just doesn't happen.
This draws a lot of cards. It just never gets to do the thing it wants
You
to
get
do.
a ton of cards in hand too. It's just you never get the ones that you need.
Yeah, it's always like 15 lands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's always like 15 lands and like a guild globe. Like literally just like a guild globe.
Draw one more.
Yeah, and then I just draw and I'm just like,
Wah.
yeah, it's just like, no, screw this crap. I'm going home. I'm putting this at a 3. High 3 because it has the infinite turns.
Yeah.
But like I know the bracket system's like, oh, you can't have extra turns infinitely looping in bracket 3. But I'm not playing this in bracket 4. I'll get stomped. Even if I play this in a bracket 3, I'm still getting stomped.
Probably.
They're gonna have one flyer, and I'm just gonna be sitting there.
Yeah, if you
doing
get a
nothing.
flyer, you're done.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna be sitting there doing nothing. It's a commander-centric deck.
Yeah, and if you remove Brago,
It's
even
done.
worse.
If you remove Brago one time, I'm sitting there like, well, I guess I'll play this Altar of the Brood.
Yeah, especially if you get rid of them early, because you really need them draws early to
Yeah,
get you ahead.
to get me
If you
ahead.
don't
Because
get it,
usually by the time I get to
end of it.
Brago, I have like 2 cards in hand. I'm like, oh, if I swing with Brago, I'll draw 6. And then I swing with Brago, and they're like, Swords to Plowshare. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm out of the game because I have 2 lands in hand. And
Yeah,
all right. Anyways, next deck. I'm thinking this is a 3. What are you thinking?
yeah,
Definitely a 3. We're just like all of our viewers are watching right now. They're like, yeah, why is this guy clicking on this iPad? Anyways, because we're old.
It's too efficient.
We're old and we don't know the names of decks. I'm just kidding. I'm not old.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
I'm old.
All right. We got Osier, Ashnil, Deepest Might. This is your deck. You want to talk about this deck?
It's a fun one. It's all about burning. It's red. You burn. I play him. You burn harder. So I have a bunch of like one cost, like pinging you for 1, but while he's out, I'm buffing him up. So at minimum, you're taking 4, but at maximum, I could be bonking you for 16 damage with
A shock.
or gut shot, lightning bolt, needle drop.
Anything.
Yeah. And then I have cards like Zozu the Punisher. So whenever you're putting
It's
lands
group
out,
slug.
tapping them, you're also taking the minimum 4 damage.
Yeah, every time
That's
I play
great.
against this deck, it's just like a round of applause. Good job. It's very good.
It's fun.
If you guys want to see this deck play on the channel, on the YouTube, go to Combat MTG on YouTube, and this is one of our most recent videos where a brand new player, never played a game of Magic before, plays this deck and does pretty well. Spoiler alert. But yeah, Osier, Ashnil, you didn't even read the card. 2 generic, 2 red. Trample. If a red source you control would deal damage, it deals that much. Deals Osier's power to that player instead.
Player.
Something like that. I read it
Doesn't
right.
deal with the critters.
Doesn't deal with critters
people.
now. Deals with the people. Very good from Ixalan. It also flips to something that's irrelevant, so we're not even going to read that side.
Nobody
I'll put it
cares
up on
about that
screen
one.
if you care. I like this deck. I feel like this deck can be a lot better though.
I don't know.
I feel like a couple changes, you could be pretty
There
good.
could be a few changes. but also I don't want to make them just because it's passive hilarious. You don't have to play the deck; it plays itself.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Literally just plays itself. As long as you know what to do.
Set some enchantments out. Your enemy's hurting themselves.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
Like, quit punching yourself. Quit
punching yourself. Yeah,
but they gotta punch themselves to do
anything to you. Yeah, and I love that about the deck. I do think this is a very powerful deck, and I feel like it has to be a 4, just because it does have Blood Moon in here. It doesn't have. I don't think it has any game changers besides Blood Moon. I think that's the only one. Blood Moon and Jessa's will. It has Blood Moon. Blood Moon's not a game changer, but it is in the mass land denial area, which is not a game changer. But they said they only want that in 4s because it's not in 3s. Well, they didn't say that, but it's not in 3s. Like mass land denial is not okay in 3s, but it is okay in 4s. So, and with one game changer though, so if it didn't have Blood Moon, you can technically run it in 3. And you do have Mana Crypt in here, which is banned, which I don't think you actually have that in there anymore, do you?
I think I've taken it out, yeah.
I think you took it out, so I don't think it's actually in the deck. But yeah, like you get a Pyrahemia out and you just kind of win.
Yeah, that's a fun
one. As long as your Odr is like buffed up enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you got up to like 7, you got 7 mana, then you're gonna hit somebody for what, 49? You can clip somebody for 49.
49,
the
yeah.
whole table.
Yeah. You should kill everybody there.
Yeah.
And all the critters.
Yeah.
In theory, unless somebody's playing like a Blightsteel Colossus or something.
Yeah, but if they got 49 health and you hadn't already chipped them down enough, then I don't know what you're doing with yourself in this deck.
Yeah. And you can just make Odr like indestructible. I'm sure there's something here to make it indestructible, right?
Yep, well, sure is.
What's it called? I don't think it's in here, man. Commander's Plate does not give it indestructible.
No, it does not.
You do have Blackblade Reforge in here, which gives it +1/+1 for each land you control, which you can get him up pretty big with that.
Yeah,
which was basically
There's a lot
indestructible.
of ways to buff them. I think I have an indestructible in here.
Yeah, I think what you need to put in here is Hero's Blade.
You were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, Hero's Blade. Well, we were actually talking about in the first version of the podcast we recorded, but we realized we messed up everything, so we had to re-record it. Yeah, you're listening to the second version of this, which is hopefully much better.
I mean, we can only hope.
We can only hope it's much better. We can only hope. It was like one of those podcasts. It's just like, we really just had to put a stop to it. We just had to stop, and we were like, we can't do this. This is so bad. And yeah, but I put this at a 4. What do you put this at?
Yeah, it's a 4.
4?
I mean, if it can play itself with a new guy playing it, then it's got to be a 4.
It's got to be a 4. Like you don't even need. You can just come into Magic and not even know how to play and just play this deck. All right, next deck. What are we moving to? We're moving to one of my decks. We're moving to one of my favorite decks.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that was an alright deck.
This is an alright deck. I love this deck. One of my favorite decks I've ever built.
Understandable. It does a bunch of really silly things.
It does silly things. And if you're wondering what the deck is, it's the Jolly Balloon Man, my favorite deck. Probably the deck I'm most known for playing on the channel. I play this deck a lot.
I mean, once you build it, you played it
15 times in one day.
In a row. So
yeah.
Plenty of play.
If you want to go watch the Jolly Balloon Man be played by me, again, go check us out on YouTube. Anyways, Jolly Balloon Man, 1 generic and a Boros, so a red and white. Legendary creature, human clown. He has haste, and you can tap 1, tap him to make a 1/1 balloon of any creature you control, and they have haste and flying, and they're 1/1 balloons. Very cool, very awesome. What you want to do with this deck? It's a bracket 4. I'm just going to reveal that right out the gate. Bracket 4 deck, because it's bracket 4. It's got Kiki-Jiki, Felidar Guardian. It's got Kiki-Jiki, bullcrap. But it also has the Jolly Balloon Man with a man land and Village Bellringers and win the game.
Yeah.
And that's cool. It also has Jolly Balloon Man and Felidar Guardian and something that doubles ETB triggers and also a Soul Ring, and you win the game.
It doesn't take much. You get that Earth to Joe out there. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah.
Earth to Joe. You get Earth to Joe. You get Earth to Joe out there, you win the game, man.
I think if you get 40% of your creatures, like they all synergize so well that you're gonna win in some kind of way.
Yeah, like you just
one of any of the what you got, like 20 almost 30 creatures. You get one of them 30 out, you're gonna do something silly.
Yeah.
To just kind of give you a.
And I always have an answer.
advantage.
For some reason, I always have an answer. It's always like, oh, you're going to destroy my stuff? Oh, I'll just win this other way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like, oh, you're going to destroy my Panharmonicon? Oh, I'll just play this other thing and win that way. And it's just like so many ways to win. It doesn't seem like it, right, for Boros, that there'd be that many ways to win. But there's actually a lot of ways to win. And then I have like Boros Charm, Eerie Interlude, Teferi Protection, and Flare of Fortitude for some protection. And then also have like Cloud Shift and Ephemerate, which are like single target like protections.
Yep.
It's just it's great. And there's so much draw with tokens and everything else. And it's just my favorite deck. It's great to play. Great. I feel like it's probably not that bad to play against. Because most of the time you're dying on turn 5.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Like you don't suffer that much, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, with Selvalee, you suffer for 20 minutes while I drop my entire hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And resolve all 50 triggers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of triggers that happen in this deck, to be fair.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of triggers, but most of them are just like, well, if I just do this, I win.
Yeah.
So
it's cut and dry. Like you play one thing and flip them over, make a token. That token makes 24 tokens. You win.
Yeah, it's literally what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're putting this at a strong bracket 4 too.
Yeah.
Bracket 4. I'm putting it at bracket 4. That's game over. We're putting it all on bracket 4.
A bracket 4 that I'd play against. It's fine.
Bracket 4 that you play against. What do you mean?
Like I don't mind playing against them.
Oh yeah, no.
Just because it does.
I don't mind playing
crazy things.
All right. Oh geez, what just happened? Oh boy. All right, we got Ragavan Nibble Pilfer. This is one of your decks.
This one's fun.
Oh, okay. So I used to hate this deck, and now I just love it because it's just monkey.
It's not that bad.
It is just monkey.
You thought it was going to be really strong when I first brought it out, which for some reason the first 3 games I had really good draws.
You had really good draws.
I was stomping.
Yeah.
But ever since those first 3 games, things have went incredibly poor for me.
Incredibly poor.
Yeah. So he's a little one cost. He's a little monkey boy. He's a pirate. And whenever you hit with him to a player, you get to make a treasure token. You exile the top card of their library. Then I can play that card. Which is really nice.
It's really cool.
And I can get him out pretty early because he's got some dash, which gives him some haste and pops him back to my hand.
Yeah.
We're about that.
Yeah, we're chill with that. Usually just want to play 1 mana, though. 1 mana.
Oh, yeah. You get him out turn 1, and he's already there.
Yeah.
Then I have a bunch of ways to make it where he can.
It's big old buff and can get through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like Ragavan. If he didn't have Jessica's Will, I would just comfortably say he's a 2. Like it just plays like a freaking pre-com.
He's not good.
It's funny. It's really funny. It has really strong cards in here.
It does.
But it just doesn't play good.
Well, the issue is I'm not really trying to play my cards. I'm attempting to play the other people's cards.
And if their decks aren't good, your deck isn't good.
And you also got to reliably hit something that's of
and you got to
value.
think like every single deck, most decks, 33% of their cards are lands.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had that's what happens a lot of times.
You got a 66% chance to hit something that's not a land.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty good chance, but at the same time, you got a 33% chance to hit a land.
Yeah.
On average. Math's not mathing, but you get what I mean.
I mean, it feels that way to me. It's like a 50-50 shot. This is how I feel whenever I play against somebody.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you didn't have Jessica's Will, this would be a 2. Because it doesn't play like a 3, but it has Jessica's Will. If you took Jessica's Will out, put it in a different deck, and then now you have a Jessica's Will.
I built this to have red counter, which is just the funniest thing in the world.
Red counter. Yeah, you got like the Bulge Trickery.
Mm-hmm. I have a bunch of random stuff in here, deflecting SWAT and
which is a game changer, notably. You have Reverberate.
Yep.
Yeah,
Reiterate. So I can double my abilities.
Yeah.
My spells.
Yeah. I don't know. I put it at 2, but since it has Justice Will, you have to put it at 3. But it doesn't play like a 3.
If I played this in a pod, man, it's.
If you play this at a 3 pod, you just lose.
Yeah, unless
it's so
somebody had pity for me.
Yeah.
And didn't want to do anything.
It's just really bad.
If they looked at the value of the deck, they'd be like, "You really probably should be doing something a little better than this." And I'd be like,
"Well,
yeah, I should, but it doesn't happen."
So here's the story why this deck is actually expensive. Okay, this deck is $991. You know why?
I know why.
Do you know why?
I do.
Why?
It's got a really nice card in here.
What? Okay, so here's the story behind this deck. So Tyler told me, he was like, I put all the deck lists in for the channel because Tyler has a busy life. Well, I do too, but my life's just Magic. So Magic and working every day.
Different busy.
Yeah, a different busy. And this is the story. I'm going through the deck, right? And I'm like putting the cards in, I separate all the lands in the pile. I separate all the creatures and stuff into a pile, going through the lands, putting them in. I look at there's a City of Brass. I'm looking at this City of Brass. I'm like, this is from like what was it called? What's the set? Hold on, let me click on the set.
It's Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights, yeah. So I don't know if you know how much an Arabian Nights City of Brass is going for about right now. It's going for like $600, roughly $600 on TCG Player. And I'm like looking at this card. I'm like, Tyler, do you know you have a $600 City of Brass just sitting in this deck that like you'd never play? It's just like a bulk deck. And he's like, yeah, I got that for like $7 at the game store. And I'm like, you got this for $7 at the game store? And he's like, yeah, it was just in a sleeve and it said $7 on it and they didn't price check it. Yep. And I was like,
yep, sure did.
Okay. You stole from them.
I don't really consider. I didn't even know it was worth that.
You didn't know it was worth that much. It was a steal. I would feel like stealing candy from a baby.
It felt good to me because I didn't know it was that either.
He just thought it was a $7 City of Brass. Mm-hmm. But here we are, getting undercharged for a $600 card that he didn't know existed.
I mean, I knew it existed. But it works really well in this deck. I knew it existed.
Well, yeah, but you just didn't know it was a $600 card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not mad.
Yeah, I'm not mad either. It was just kind of funny. It feels bad for the game store. Funny enough, they're out of business now.
Are they?
No, I was just kidding. I was just making a joke. Yeah. You bought the City of Brass from them and it put them out of business. Bad. Yeah. But yeah, that's the story. I don't know what else to say about that.
I don't know. It's a pretty card. It's an old card. I like the card. It works well in here.
I kind of challenged him about the City Brass because I'm like, you're in mono red. Why do you need to tap for multiple colors? And he's like, well, I'm playing other people's stuff. Don't you think I need extra colors? So we got all the treasures, but he's got a counter argument for everything.
I sure do. It might not be the best counter argument, but it works.
It works. It works against me because I don't want to argue.
Yeah, that's the best move.
Yeah. Anyways, we're putting it at a 2?
Yeah, that's a 2.
Yeah, that's a 2. Disgusting. That's a 2. All right, we're going on to my decks. All right, well, this is probably one you hate. Tristani, Selesnya's Voice. Instantly. It's got a couple game changers. This is Tristani, Selesnya's Voice. So this is a Selesnya deck with life gain where it's 2 green, 2 white. I'm trying to read it from memory. I think it's a legendary creature, human dryad. Nope, it's just a dryad. I done messed up.
Don't worry,
whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. And then you can tap 1 in a Selesnya and tap Tristani and populate, which is create a token that's a copy of another token.
You control,
yeah.
All right, what's the flavor? Give me the flavor text.
Something about something. I don't know.
Zero chance you're getting that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a strange word. Yeah, there's a strange word in there that nobody even
something about Selesnya.
Yep.
Anyways, life gain Selesnya deck. I think this is another deck that everybody and their moms probably built. I've recently upgraded it though. I put some cards in, put more creatures in. Got 31 creatures in here. A little low. A lot of instants and sorceries for some reason in a Selesnya deck. I upgraded and put some more lands in because I was running low on lands. I felt like.
You're always talking about how restrictive
this deck is because I need 4 mana pips instead of just like 2, So
did this man add a Stampede Tyrant to this deck?
What? No, that Gulta's been in here the whole time.
Has it? You just never played it.
Yeah, I've never played it. I never have an opportunity to. I always just lose real early.
Good.
You always play like the most powerful decks against my deck.
Not this one.
Well, what do you think this deck sits at?
I'd give it a 3.
You give it 3? I give it 3 too. It has like 1 game changer. It doesn't have any combos, but it just kind of plays like an upgraded precon.
Yeah, I've seen you do some pretty silly things with the Helm of the Host.
Yeah, the Helm of the Host, crazy
it does
stuff.
well in this.
Yeah, it does funny. It does funny stuff. I didn't
If
go
you
a whole
had-
lot of token synergy. I went more big creature win.
Yeah, it's definitely big creature. Copy big creature. Copy that big creature, and then just do the old Ether Well.
Aether Flux,
Yeah,
Reservoir.
yeah, that little well.
Yep.
little well boy.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll take
Anyways,
you out.
yeah, we're moving on. We're putting that at a 3. We're putting this next deck. What do you even think this next deck is? Do you guys think it's mono red? Answer down in the comments. I bet you don't even know if it's mono red or not. Tyler has like 15 mono red decks.
It's
Well,
not my favorite
If you guessed mono red, you're wrong. It's a mono green deck. It's old Gnawbone.
Yeah, it's like pretty much
Probably-
the opposite of
Probably
that.
one of your favorite decks.
It is. It's pretty fun.
Very pretty.
It is. It's. I think 95% of it's foiled out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have 2 banned cards, Jewel Lotus, Mana Crypt.
Also foiled.
This was your attempt at a mono green CDH deck?
Yeah, it's got some stuff in here that can do that. It's just it's a little slow.
Slow. Yeah.
I mean, he's a 7 cost though. 7 cost. He's a little dragon. He's got some flying.
He doesn't have any game
Wonderful.
changers in him, surprisingly.
Yeah, but whenever you hit somebody with him, you make some
Yeah,
tokens.
so
Any of my
for
creatures
for
do
some
that.
context, Old Gnawbone, 5 generic, 2 green, legendary creature, dragon, flying. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you create that many treasure tokens. So big creature win. You know,
Mhm.
what's the loop in here? Let me explain the loop to me again because I completely forget. I know it's Mirror of Fate, Gonti's Aether Heart, Eternal Witness, and some other bullcrap.
You need a Kongla out there too.
Yeah, you need Kogla.
Yeah. And then
Say Kogla?
Kongla.
It's not Kongla, it's Kogla.
I'm gonna keep on Konglans.
Kongla.
Kongla.
Is it Kongla?
I believe so.
All right, we're making new merch. It's called Kongla.
Yeah, it's a Kongula.
It's a Kongilla.
I don't know if you ever did like the old Monster Hunter, but Kongula.
Kongla.
Little purple baboon, pink baboon.
Kogla.
Yeah, Kongula.
Kogla.
Oh my gosh.
Kogla.
It's Kongula.
Kogla.
I don't think he's ever played Monster Hunter, but that's
Kogla.
fine. He'll understand one day.
No, I won't. Anyways,
Um,
combo. What is a combo? Today, Junior.
So
Anyways.
whenever I attack, I would create treasures. So if I'm creating treasures that would trigger,
Not when you attack. Whenever you deal combat damage to a player.
right? That's what I'm.
Yeah, and most people don't have
Leads
enough
into
stuff
that.
to block a 7/7 flyer. To
No,
be fair.
and there's a lot of other things in here that is pretty strong and have trample.
Yeah.
So when I deal damage, it's going to create the treasures, which I would have my Aetherworks onto the field.
Which creates you a bunch of energy.
It's going to make energy for all of those hitting the field.
Yeah.
And
So-
when that happens, I'm able to tap my Aether,
Aether Heart
Right.
and take an extra turn.
tap the heart, take an extra turn, and then use my Mirror of Fate and return that back to the field.
Choose
So
up
that
to
will send
7
that.
face-up exiled cards you own. Exile cards from your library, then put the chosen cards on top of your library.
So that'll send that to the graveyard. So to return that, I need to play a. I think I have 2 different.
You have an Eternal Witness in
I
here.
have an Eternal Witness, and I have another one in here that'll also allow me to do the same thing as Eternal Witness. And I will pop that back to the field, and then I can repeat that just
Over and over again.
by playing the Kongla, and the Kongla will. I pay 2, and I can flip a card back to my hand. So I just pay the 2 with the treasures that are already on the field, send that Eternal Witness back to my hand, attack, take extra turn, repeat step, and it's just going to keep on flipping because I'll keep building energy off of my treasures hitting.
Yeah. So and then you can never deck yourself either.
No, because I'm just sending the card right back to the top of my deck.
Yeah. So I put this at a 4.
Yeah, if I get that off, that's pretty.
Yeah,
entertaining.
I definitely put this deck out of 4.
If somebody sees a Mirror Fate and a Gonthi, they're normally like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Just destroy everything you own.
Yeah, they don't like seeing that at all.
Yeah, no, they don't like this stuff at all.
A lot of the time, what happens is I just end up just either knocking somebody out through commander damage, or just whole swinging and wrecking them that way.
Yeah, that's usually the win con. You like
Yeah.
last march to the ends and just drop your entire hand.
Yeah,
That's usually what happens.
That happens. That's the end.
That's
of the
game over pretty much. Yeah. So 4.
4.
Yeah. Yep. Moving on. We're tired of talking about them. Too much stuff going on there.
He's too shiny. It hurts your eyes.
He's too shiny. Hurts my eyes. Oh, the iPad's so far away. All right, Marin Clan Nel Toth. Everybody's built this. Everybody and their mom. I have a lot of top 100 decks. Pretty rough. I'm not a very hipster builder. Marin of Clan Nel Toth. Whenever a creature dies, you get an experience counter. Whenever a creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. Then it's your end step. You may return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield if it has less mana cost than the amount of experience counters. And if you have, if the mana cost is more than the amount of experience counters you have, you can just put it into your hand from your graveyard instead of putting it on the battlefield.
Yeah.
This is a Reanimator deck. This is probably as close to a 3 as I do have. Probably pretty close to a 3 deck here. Probably the closest deck I have to a 3.
I'd give it a 3. I will say it's pretty rough to play against if
in
you're not
1v1.
playing against something that wants to also sacrifice. If there's something that also wants to sacrifice you, I mean, you just torment each other, and it's a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, and it's just you and them going, and the other 2 people are just having a crap day, and they're just literally sitting there like, you know, and then you're just like, well, I guess I just lose.
Yeah.
It happens all the time to me when I play against like a Teysa Karlov deck or like a Marin of Clan Nel Toth. It just really sucks to be in a pod with them. This is my own deck, and I hate the premise of Marin. But I love playing Marin against other people, but I hate playing against Marin.
Yeah, because what you do is you just sacrifice your Fleshbag Marauder repeatedly, bring him back to your hand or back to the battlefield, sack him again, and you do that every turn.
You're
getting 2 sacks out of it, and nobody's going to be able to recur their creatures as fast as that.
Marin can.
I mean, yeah, that's the point of it.
Yeah, that's literally the entire deck. But yeah, or you Spore Frog and just tap infinite Spore Frogs.
Yeah, then you prevent all damage. You're right.
Yep. 3.
Yeah, good 3, high 3, I would say.
All right, moving on. We're tired of talking about it. Marin's boring. Not much to say about that deck. We're moving on to Tyler's deck. We're moving on to Sovereign Oaken How. This is. Let you talk about this deck. You don't get to talk much. I'm the talent.
Oh yeah, I'm just the voice.
Yeah.
So the old Sovereign, he's a 2 generic Selesnya. He's a Cat Noble legendary creature, Ward 2. And whenever he attacks, each creature I control with greater power than that of their base power gets a +1 counters added to their total.
The difference.
And those stick.
The difference.
Yeah.
The difference between their base power and their.
Yeah. I said
Right.
of
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
used fancy outbreak type of stuff.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, you just buff your creatures up, and then they just keep getting +1/+1 counters equal to the buff that they have. So this is.
And I have a bunch of oozes in here.
Yeah, this is Ooze Tribal. This is Ooze Tribal.
It's great because
it's a 2.
Oozes always start with 0. Man, this thing's not a 2. This thing whomps you.
Well, yeah, it mollywops me.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
I think it's a good 3.
You think it's a 3?
Even unoptimized, I would call this a 3.
You think so?
If I added some cards that actually were beneficial to this, it would
probably
get broken.
So what happened was we took a whole case of Caverns of Ixalan booster boxes, play boosters, or whatever the heck they were called back then. Play boosters, set boosters. That was probably the name.
Yeah.
And we took those. I had 6 booster boxes. He had 6 booster boxes. We both built a deck out of all the cards. He has made some upgrades. He's made some upgrades. I made some upgrades. I built Pantalaza. He built this. And this deck he just hasn't taken apart, and it's very good. It just needs like an upgrade, to be honest. It could be way better than this, but it's still good. He does have Jeweled Lotus in here, which is illegal, but we don't really care that much. So
Yeah, we be playing in the little zone. We don't care. This is our zone.
This is the basement Magic zone.
Yeah.
So, what are you thinking? You say it at 3. I'm saying at 3.
Yeah.
Since you said at 3, I'll bump it up for a 3 because I don't think you would play this out of 2 because it does have the Walking Ballista Heliod Sun Crown combo in here.
Yeah.
Which I completely disregarded.
Yeah, last time.
That exists. Yeah, last time.
It's there.
It's there.
And it does well.
It does stuff. So 3.
Yeah. Good.
All right. We're moving on. We're talking about one of my decks. Oh boy. I didn't click on the wrong tab. We are going to Jesse. Yep, that's me. We're playing Worth the Raid Mama. All right. This is a 2. I have to talk about this deck.
This deck's a 1.
This deck's a 1. This deck's so bad. This deck is so bad. It's Moxfield rated as a bracket 2. And I feel like I trust Moxfield enough to think that it's a bracket 2, that I think it's also a bracket 2. It says 29 sorceries and 19 instances, 16 creatures, 1 enchantment, and there's 3 artifacts. This doesn't have any ramp. It's just a deck that I was like, you know what? I want to build a Wart. I like Conspire as an ability. I really need to update it because the deck just blows. But
I'm just wondering why you have 31 lands in here and she's a 6 cost, no mana ramp.
Because it's a 2.
It is a 1.
You think it's a 1?
This thing's so slow.
It's so funny though. I love Wart. I just love her art. She's like,
she's a catch. I'll give her that.
she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Take them teeth out. See what happens.
Yeah. She's my number 1 person I would bang in the Magic the Gathering universe.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Right behind, it's definitely like War, and then it's like Atraxa. I mean, hear me out.
Yeah.
Atraxa got that big old thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She got that thing on her.
No.
All right. Anyways, Worth the Raid Mother. He's putting it at a 1. I'm putting it at a 2.
We'll go to a 1.5.
He's going to a 1.5.
Since you got a Genesis.
We don't have much. We don't have much to talk about for Wart because it is just really bad. All right, we're moving on to Yuriko for Tyler. Yuriko, if you don't know what Yuriko is, you've been living under a rock your entire life. We don't build hipster decks around here. We only build the good decks.
2.
You think Yuriko's a 2?
Nah, probably 3.
You're a lunatic.
3.
Yuriko can't be any worse than a 4. You could put nothing in this deck.
What if it's meme Yuriko?
If it's meme Yuriko, yeah. If you put Yuriko and 99 lands in here, then it could be a 3.
This is ladies looking left Yuriko.
This is ladies looking left Yuriko? I don't believe you.
Go through. They're all looking left.
Bro, Jace isn't looking left.
All the ladies in here, they looking left.
All right, I believe you. Draco ain't looking left.
That's true. I lied. That's fine.
Come on, man. You got omniscience in here.
Yeah, all the big spells they're not.
They're never to cast. They're only to hit off Yuriko.
Yeah, it's all about deck manipulation.
All right. Well, let's read Yuriko. Commander Ninjutsu. Well, let's read her actual mana cost, even though nobody ever cast her for that cost. Anyways, we got Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow, 1 generic, and a Dimir, which is a blue-black legendary creature, human ninja, Commander Ninjutsu. So you know what Ninjutsu is. Return an unblocked creature you control and put this in attacking instead.
Yep.
And this is for a Dimir. You can do that. And then whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library, put the card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to the card's converted mana cost. And she's a 1/3 for effectively 2 every single time because Commander Ninjutsu doesn't get a commander tax.
And it shouldn't. Rightfully so.
No, it should. Dash gets commander tax. Why shouldn't Commander Ninjutsu?
Because it's a completely different ability.
I think Yuriko's stupid and
have their own thing going for them.
I think Yuriko is stupid and homogenized the ninja archetype or a tribal type. I think every single Ninja deck is just Yuriko.
I mean, it almost has to be.
Right, that's what I feel like. It's like the same way with Krinko, the same way with Ur-Dragon. Like it's just like it has to be, or like Miram now, not Ur-Dragon.
They're so good.
They're so good, they just can't be competed with, and they will never print another better one. That'd just be stupid.
It'd be like Omnath,
Yeah,
what they keep doing with him.
yeah. They just keep printing more Omnaths.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you putting this deck at?
No. Low 4.
Low 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking a low 4 too. You know, we forgot to turn the heater off.
I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah, me either.
We'll see what it's doing.
Yeah, it'd be all right. Anyways, low 4.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm putting it at a low 4. All right, we're moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to mine. We're putting Tulane. Tulane's up on the table. A 3. I don't even want to talk about Tulane. That's boring.
No, you said this was pre-con level. This was
Pre-con level. This is a 2.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a 2 though?
No.
No. What do you think this deck is?
That's a 300%.
300%.
High 3.
It just doesn't do It doesn't do anything stupid anymore. It just wants to do. So Tulane, we all know what Tulane does. 2 generic and a Bant, which is green, white, and blue. Legendary creature, human druid. Vigilance, whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, you may put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. You tap 3, tap it, return target creature you control to its owner's hand. It's a 2 mana or a 5 mana 2/4. This is just a value train for 5 mana that does stupid stuff.
Yeah. When you start comboing the amount of lands that you can set down, it starts to get a little crazy. I've seen it do some
Bonkers,
really bad things.
Bonkers stuff.
Yeah.
Like turn, like what the deck really wants to do, and this is the only thing I'll ever want to do in this deck, and that's the only thing I ever aim for, is I want to play a bunch of Scoot Swarms, and then I want to drop a Nyxbloom Ancient. And if I have at least 100 like Scoot Swarms out, I will then cast a Mirror Weave, turning all my Scoot Swarms into Nyxbloom Ancients.
Who doesn't want 100 of those?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. And then you tap a mana, and you make how much? 3 million?
Yeah.
30 million? 30,000?
It's 1 to the 100 power, man.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, that's what we're talking about.
It's a lot of mana.
Yeah.
It's enough to do whatever you want with your entire deck.
Yeah, you just Finale of Devastation for X equals 2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting this at a 3.
Yeah, 3.
3. All right. We're moving on. We're moving on to... Oh, that's not the right one. Here we
Oh,
go.
that's fine. I like that one.
The Gitrog monster.
This is a fun deck.
Yep.
Also, one of the first ones that I put together.
Yeah, probably another one of the ones that are that you could take pretty close to CDH.
Yeah, if he wasn't so slow.
If it wasn't the slowest thing ever in the world, you could do this.
I got a couple cards out there, though. I can answer anything that happens.
Yeah, pretty much. It
just
it does
Dark
play.
Blast
I think
everything.
this is the Gitrog monster, the generic in a Golgari, legendary creature, frog horror, death touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a land, and then you may play an additional land on each of your turns. And then whenever one more land card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you draw a card. And he's a 5 mana 6/6 with upside. He has a lot of non-deterministic loops with him. That's why a lot of people don't like him. I honestly,
The turns take a while.
yeah, I honestly just put him at a 4, just because of that reason of having the Dakmor Salvage discard outlet loop, where you just do that over and over again, and you just kind of, it just having that in the command zone just is not a good play style to me. Even though I play Veyron, just and just non-deterministic loop with that, but the Gitrog monster is much more. It is just too much more non-deterministic.
Yeah. I mean, when you're doing full deck cycles, just to find one card, and then you go through and you do a whole deck cycle, and then you got a recursion shuffle when it hits the graveyard, and you can get your entire library into your hand, other than that one card that you have as your reset. It's pretty entertaining to me.
Yeah, but
Because then you can just keep doing that on that one card.
yeah,
Just flipping that. and then I could just Dark Blast and just -1 counters repeatedly onto all of everything.
Yeah, because you just keep flipping all your lands.
Yeah.
Just keep dredging the thing back and then casting it because you discarded it to.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Oblivion Crown, you just give your stuff a bunch of +1/+1.
Yeah, and you always do it like after no blocks.
Yep.
Flash out Oblivion Crown.
Yep.
I think he has haste. I think Oblivion Crown has haste, right?
Flash.
Or flash, yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Haste, flash, same difference.
Yep.
It says a ban card in it, though. It has Mana Crypt, but who cares?
Oh, no. It might.
So where do you think this deck sits at? I always put it at a 4. I've always thought it was a 4.
That's fair. 4, it's got Ad Nauseam in here.
It's got Ad Nauseam. It's got one Game Changer,
Yep. That's it.
but it is Ad Nauseam. One of the
Mhm.
better ones in the game.
Yeah. Just pop it out of this, put it in Crick for you.
You
Just
should,
That way
honestly.
you feel better.
Yeah.
I might do it.
Yeah. So we're putting it at a 4. You want to move on to the next deck?
Yeah.
Might as well. How about my deck? You know what this deck is. Oh, man. I hate this deck.
I've never seen it before.
It's Korvold. I'm just kidding. I love Korvold. I have every deck from the Brawl commanders except for Sir Gwyn. I have Korvold, I have Chulainn, and I have Alayla. I don't have Sir Gwyn.
I got you covered.
You have Sir Gwyn.
I do.
Yeah, I don't know why we decided to do these. These commanders are just really powerful, so we were like, screw it. We want value train commanders. This is Korvold, the Faith Curse King, 2 generic and a Jund, legendary creature, Dragon Noble. Whenever he enters the battlefield, sacrifice a permanent. And whenever he attacks, you also sacrifice a permanent. And then whenever you sacrifice a permanent, you get a +1 counter on him, and you also draw a card. So it is value stapled on a commander. That also enters and draws you a card, and attacks and draws you a card. So he's Korvold. This recently got revamped from a what would you call that? A -1 deck. The deck before this, it was Korvold, but it was not Treasure Storm.
Oh, nah, it's still probably.
The deck before this was
3?
like a 3.
Yeah.
What do you think it is now?
I think it's a 4.
You think it's a 4 now?
Yeah. This deck's always done really well, I feel
Yeah,
like.
it does have the food chain and the squee
Yeah.
combo where you play the food chain and then you play the squee, exile the squee, get infinite mana to cast creature spells, cast Korvold, draw your entire deck.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I like it a lot.
Yeah. No, like I say, I'd definitely give it a 4. It's a lot more treasury now.
It is treasure. It is treasure. That is it. It is only treasure.
Yeah.
It is nothing but treasure. All right.
Well, and he gets big.
I'm
because of
tired of
treasures.
talking about Korvold. Are you tired of talking about Korvold?
I mean, who doesn't like dragons, man?
Well, I like dragons and their horde, but screw it. All right, we're talking about your last deck,
Okay.
and that
right.
is not the right tab.
I was just like, okay, let's talk about my slivers.
We're talking about the slivers. We're talking about Kalia the Vast.
Okay.
This is not an optimized deck, but it does have a lot of game changers.
Yeah.
Has four game changers. That automatically puts it in the 4 bracket.
I can see it.
You can see it.
She's good.
Yeah,
You don't like me playing this deck. That's how I know it's good.
I hate playing against this deck.
Yeah. I have a lot of fun with it.
You have a
Just
lot of
because you can cheat things
to,
out.
to me playing against Kalia is just
But they just
know.
had a secret layer of her coming out.
yeah.
That
they,
actually looked pretty all right.
they already did have a secret layer for it. It's already out.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, it looked pretty sweet. I like the Varen secret layer that came out a while ago. I was gonna buy that, but it's also like $50
Yeah.
for like just that.
It's not worth the
It's not
value
worth the
that they
money.
want out of it.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, man, it looks good, but also it's
I
not
don't want to
worth
spend that much money for just the art.
Yeah. So I don't.
I don't either.
It's not worth that.
Yeah,
But yeah, you cheat big stuff out.
cheap big
and,
dragons.
And you lose. I feel good about that.
Yeah, she's one Namardu, legendary creature, human cleric, flying. Whenever she attacks, you put an angel, demon, dragon on the battlefield, tapped and attacking. And they don't come back. So you basically just put big things into play and swing and win.
Yep.
That is Kalia. If you don't know what Kalia does, you've been living under a rock.
Yeah.
Top 100 commander.
Good. Big critters, indestructible critters. Critters that got some fire breathings. Critters that do double strike, and critters that make you have multiple attacks.
Yeah.
And then if you got multiple attacks out, then guess what? You're getting twice the amount of angels, dragons, or demons onto the field. So
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
yeah.
So I wanted to start a little segment for the first podcast since that is our last deck. I wanted to do something that's cool. We should do a card of the week. You know, since we're doing a weekly podcast, or at least we're trying to do a weekly podcast here, we should do a card of the week. What do you feel about that? So I got on my handy dandy phone right here a card.
All right, we'll see the surprise.
We're seeing this surprise. This card is called Retraced Image. It says, 1 blue, it's a sorcery. Reveal a card in your hand, then put that card into play if it has the same name as a permanent in play. What do you think of this card? I personally just found out about this card today. And to me, if you're playing a sorcery style, if you're playing an instant and sorcery styles, instant and sorcery matters deck, this is very good.
Yeah, or if I play a persistent petitioners.
Yeah, and you play this.
I get a free one.
You get a 1 mana one.
Not free, but
to me,
I'm cheating.
This is better than a one. This is better than a 2 mana rock because you play retrace. So here's Magical Dreamland. I'm putting Retraced Image up on the screen if you guys are on the YouTube video. But Retraced Image, you play it turn 1 with an island, and then turn 1 you play another island with Retraced Image because there's an island on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Or here's another theory: you're playing mono blue power 4 decks. You play an island turn 1, you pass. Or no, here's your last place in order, okay? Somebody before you plays a turn 1 Rhystic Study. Somebody else plays like a turn 1 something else good, and then another thing. But then you also have a Rhystic Study in hand, and you don't want to spend the full mana cost for it, because you won't be able to get it out until turn 2. You're like, you know what? Turn 1, I'm going to play Retraced Image and play my own Rhystic Study.
Yeah, that's pretty niche, but also that would be sweet.
That'd be so sweet. Like, Retraced Image is such a good card. And nobody's he's playing 5,000 decks.
That's a big number.
5,000, that's a small amount.
Not really, but...
That's a small amount. There's like 2 million decks out there, and this is playing 5,000 of them. 0% of every deck on the internet.
I could see it working.
I could see it working just with like a basic land.
Yeah, just the island, just kind of quick swap out. You got 2 on turn 1. I
mean, that just seems good. It just double ramp, and it's good if you have the sorcery and instant sorcery synergies.
Yeah,
can't speak.
I'm not worried about that.
Me either. Okay, yeah, that's the card of the week. Retraced Image. Check it out. Try playing it.
Good
card.
If
you have a copy laying around, just throw it in your deck. See what happens.
I didn't know it existed.
He didn't know it existed. Now he does.
Might do something with it.
I might do something with it too.
This is good. Keep showing me cards that I can use against you.
I will.
You're anyways, not ready for it.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a 5-star review. And now that you're at the end of the episode, comment down below Dingleberry. And if you comment down Dingleberry, I'll know you made it all the way to the end of the episode.
That's a good way to figure it out.
Yeah, because who the heck's going to be commenting Dingleberry on this unless they made it to the end of the episode?
Watch me. I did it.
Anyways, follow the stuff on I think there's a follow button on Apple iTunes and Spotify. I don't know. Follow it. Leave a 5-star review. Follow me on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube for sure. Subscribe and like on there. If you liked the audio version, come watch us on the video version. We're probably just 2 awkward human beings sitting here fiddling with our hands.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, me too. It's a bad habit. Yeah, we made it through a podcast finally. So, we're going to just do a bunch of these things. We're just going to spam all these at the end of the episode because that's what we do here. We just do this. And we just going to the sensors and stuff on here and see what happens.
No idea what he's hitting.
I have no idea what's going on.
That's fine.
It's fine. If you made it to the end of the episode, you know what's happening. And you hear this music playing. And you hear it playing, and it's getting louder, and it's getting louder, and it's getting louder. And we're just going to end the episode whenever the music ends. It's never going to end. It's never going to end.
It's like 40 minutes, man.
It's like 40 minutes long.
I'm going to get a drink.
Yeah, he's going to leave. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.